Hey guys, I'm Dana Oliver, beauty director at Yahoo Lifestyle, and we are in for a treat today on Build. We have a lovely guest from a much anticipated Lifetime film, and we're gonna roll a clip to Harry and Meghan, a royal romance.
What am I supposed to do? Never have fun?
Peter Pan can't stay Neverland forever. A marriage isn't so bad.
There goes my heart.
I'm Meghan.
Harry, you look lovely.
She's American, she's divorced.
Is it true about you and Prince Harry?
Are you ready for this?
And swim every ocean.
She makes me happy, so to hell with tradition.
I need you to hold me tonight.
Everyone give a warm welcome to Parisa Fitz-Henley.
Hi. Hey, everybody.
You're looking amazing.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to share the stage with you and get to know more about you and also this amazing role that you have. So just to take it back to your childhood a bit, because you were born in Kingston.
I was.
And I love Jamaica, by the way. That's one of my favorite places to go. And like Meghan, you also you're biracial.
I am.
So I was just wondering, was acting always a dream of yours? Was it something that your parents and your family, encouraged you to pursue?
No, I actually wanted to be a doctor when I was a kid, and also an astronaut for a little while, and also both. But things changed, and one of the things is I used to like to pretend in my room to be different characters, and eventually started writing. So I loved creating characters. I just didn't think of this as a possibility. Where I grew up, so I grew up between Kingston and a tiny little place called Gulfport, Florida, and I didn't know anybody who did something like this. So for me, it was something that other people did. And it wasn't until I actually moved to New York and got started working that I got some opportunities. I had like a kind of fluke experience that led me into it.
So what was that? What was that fluke experience?
Well, I had been modeling at the time, and I went to a casting, and I needed to use the ladies' room. And they didn't have one on that floor. And so they said, you can either go up or you can go down. There's a bathroom on one of them. And I said, well, let me just go up. And if there isn't one, I'll go down. So I went up, walked out of the elevator, and a man came up to me and said, are you the one that the agent sent over? And I was like, nope, I'm going to the bathroom. And when I came out of the bathroom, he said, listen, we've had something strange happen. Someone was supposed to hire a day player for this, for just one scene. You'd be perfect for it. Would you be willing to do it? Are you in the union? And I was like, I think I'm something called a must join. Sure. And I, very short time later, was on the set, and the director said action, and something just kind of took over. I just felt like this is what I want to do. And so at the time I was commuting between Jamaica and New York, and I went home and I started studying and then moved to LA, and the rest is history.
Wow, look how the universe works. It just all came together so perfectly.
Yeah, it's me and the universe. I'm always in awe.
And you've honed your acting chops, on Marvel series like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, which I also love, and also in some other films and TV series. But how did you hear about the role for Meghan Markle?
Well, it's funny. I wasn't a royal watcher. I peripherally was aware of things that they did, and a lot of my friends on Twitter started talking about this engagement video, and there was a lot of talk, and it was from people that don't normally get involved in celebrity gossip. So I was like, well, let me watch this video. What's the big deal? And I was taken with her. I was taken with them. Their relationship seemed genuine. They seemed like friends. They just seemed so grounded and poised. And I thought, what an intriguing woman. I feel like I could probably kind of look like her. I hope I can audition for that. So I said to my manager, hey, if they make a movie about this someday, I would love to audition to play her. Thinking that maybe a year after or something, they would make a movie and I would audition and never hear from them again. Just said, I'll just give it a shot. It's because it's fun to have the experience of going in on something. And then it was just weeks later, I was in the woods with my parents, covered in dirt, and this email came in and was like, okay, you're gonna try to be the most glamorous lady in the world in a couple of days. great.
I love that story. You know, I was watching a clip where you talked about that. You spent 10 days in the woods with your parents.
Yeah, they live in the woods. So,
So did you show up like with your natural, because you have gorgeous natural curls. I love the braids that you're wearing
Thanks.
today. Did you show up natural curls, you know, or did you have a wig in your bag, sleep blowout? You're like, I'm just going to
Should I
throw
be
this on
admitting
and go in.
So I didn't have a lot of time because I flew back to LA. I put together probably the worst combo of like hairpiece and very sad self blowout that you could have. I mean, it was bad. It was real bad. And I just sort of like tucked it and did a little thing, and it was like, don't look at the back of my head. Just don't look at the back of me. And it worked for the first audition, but you know, they were like, maybe do something more with your hair next time. And so I used a slightly better hairpiece the next time, and then later on, like when there was time, that was when the dolling up really happened.
And I would love to hear more about the physical transformation into Meghan, because, you know, you both have gorgeous freckles and, you know, thick hair. You know, how much time was it in hair and makeup to transform, and, you know, how many wigs did you wear for this role?
Well, that was the thing that was interesting to me, because her looks are she's a very natural look that she goes with, but our hair and makeup team, Shelly Jensen for hair and Jennifer Folk for makeup, their attention to detail was so precise, because they wanted to make it seamless for me and for the audience. So we really took time to make sure that we had the hairstyles that she does, to make sure that the little, you know, like some of the freckles matched, and, you know, like just little things. We have strangely certain matching things already. I kind of want her, not kind of, I really want her to just one day come back to acting for a little and play my sister. I just want her to come and do that someday.
You hear that, Meghan? We're putting that out in the universe.
I mean, if you ever want to, I think we should make something together. But yeah, so, you know, they have that attention to detail, and it made it easy for me.
And, you know, you talked about like certain things had to be tweaked just to get that signature Meghan look. What were some of those things that they had to do?
Well, she has that cute little like turned up nose, and I don't have that quite the same thing.
Gorgeous nose.
Thank you. I mean, I like my nose, but it's not quite the same as hers. So they would do little things,
Like prosthetics or like glue, or
I mean, Jennifer's like a magician with the contouring and stuff, and such a light hand. And when I got to see the film like on a big screen up close, I was like, dang, she did a good job. Wow. But you know, I mean, that's when you have artists that know what they're doing. They know, like, they know what to do.
right. Now, Meghan has worn like different looks, from the sleek blowout that we all are obsessed with, and, you know, she does a cute like updo, chignon. Do you have a favorite look of hers that you've transformed into?
I mean, it's just the blowout, the long blowout, I think is really beautiful. You know, all her looks are so classic and just quality stuff. So it was really fun to do all the things that she was doing.
Awesome. Now we have another clip that I want us to take a look at. It's when Meghan and Harry met for the first time.
Oh.
Hi there.
Hi. I'm Meghan.
Hello. Yeah, I'm Harry. You look
Thank you. I'm gonna actually need you to hold off on the compliments until you have apologized for being 40 minutes late.
Was I? Sorry, I didn't realize.
Really? Can I just show you how this works? You see here, this shorthand? That one is the hours, and the long one is the minutes.
I've always wondered about that.
Have you?
In English boarding school education, it's highly overrated. I do apologize.
Oh, no, that's okay. I mean, I feel like I can let it go, considering you've agreed to meet me in such a lively setting.
Sorry about that, too. Just best if we're not seen together publicly for your sake.
Of course, I know. I mean, it would really hurt my street cred to be seen with a guy who can't tell time. I mean, I am kind of a well-known actress, after all. What is it you do?
I'm, kind of the Prince of England.
I love that scene. So when you're watching that, what comes to mind?
Wow. just wanting to do the script and the couple justice, I guess, and how nice it was to work with Murray Fraser. I mean, he's like a dream to play with.
And he's not too bad on the eyes.
He's not too bad on the eyes. He's not too bad on the heart either. He's a really like kind and wise and thoughtful person, and that's like when we had our chemistry read for this, that's what really struck me. We had just seconds to meet before we auditioned with that scene. It was just like, hi, nice to meet you. Okay, here we go. And afterwards we had a chance to have lunch together, and I just was like, oh gosh, this must be what it was like, or kind of like what it was like for Meghan and Harry to meet, where it's like you sit down with this person and they're so thoughtful and so wise and really make you think about things that you weren't thinking about before. It's like, this guy would be really perfect to play Harry. I hope it happens. I hope we get to do it together. And then about a week later, we found out that we were going to get to.
Amazing. Now, much of the criticism has been how different Harry and Meghan are. But, what do you think about these accusations that Meghan is using Harry to seek fame, especially when we see scenes like this where, it's obviously there is some chemistry and there's a connection there?
Well, I think in any situation, especially right now while we have the internet as a massive platform, you're always going to have people that say negative things, no matter what. And I've seen people get in fights over kitten videos on Twitter, and I'm not kidding. So, I think you can't really pay too much attention to it, and it seems like they don't pay too much attention to it either. But it's also, this isn't a life, like, it's insanely invasive, the life that she's chosen by choosing him. It's beyond fame. It's where you can't really move freely anymore in the world. She already had fame, and she could have had more had she continued on her trajectory. I just don't think that that's her interest. What I think a lot of people don't know is that this is a woman who double majored both theater and international relations. She spent a year working at a U.S. embassy in Argentina. This is a woman who could have easily become a diplomat. And she chose to tell other people's stories on a stage. Now she gets to tell other people's stories on the world stage. And it doesn't seem like a job that's necessarily about getting adulation. It's about having an incredible amount of influence with an incredible degree of interest in helping other people. And if that's what she wanted to do, I cannot fault her for that at all.
Exactly. And obviously in other roles, you've played... You've had interracial relationships. What do you think about bringing, this is a reality, for some people it's still, a debate, but this is a reality. What do you feel about this being brought to the small screen?
Oh, like the issue of interracial dating and marriage and family, all of this stuff. I'm so glad it's happening. Growing up, I never saw interracial families on television, in advertising, nothing. Now that's changing so much. I know what it's like to be in a relationship and have pressure to break you up, and have and it was successful in breaking us up. Like where a family doesn't approve. So it's something that I'm sure is happening all the time to people. I'm really glad there's an opportunity to talk about it. I hope that the movie will help people talk about it. I hope that people will pay attention to their real life story and talk about it, because we have a lot going on under the surface that's really like, it's festering. This idea that we're not one family, that we're all super different because we look different, or we eat differently, or we were born on literally a different piece of dirt than someone else, and it's false. And I think inside we know it's false, and we need to be able to bring it out so that we can change that.
Right, and that's such a great perspective to have. And what were some of the other lessons that you learned just about the world and also about yourself in portraying Meghan?
Well, Meghan, from what I observed of her, is a very confident person, very grounded, knows what she's doing. She seems to feel certain about the way that she's moving in the world. I know I don't always feel that way. So it was really a gift to be able to play someone like that, because I got to practice it. And I do feel like, you know, faking it till you make it works. You know, I mean, especially if it's grounded in something authentic. And, you know, I think Murray and I both really wanted to portray these people as people, you know, who had struggles and strengths, and having a chance to embody her and hers. It was great exercise. It was great internal exercise. One thing I've also learned about the world, which I guess I knew, but it never was as personal for me, is how intrusive things can become the more that you're in the public eye. And, you know, we've had just a shred of the kind of intrusion into our personal lives that they've had into theirs, and it's overwhelming as a shred. So I can only imagine for them what they have to deal with all the time.
Right, it's crazy, you know, with social media and the press and everything like that. And, you know, you talk about Meghan's confidence that she exudes, and I know that you're also in a band.
I
Can
am.
you tell us more about that?
Sure. So, funny story. Paul Freeman is a wonderful musician. He and I share a mutual friend and his wife, and just the three of us adore each other. And they asked me to meet with their family one time when their family was visiting from the UK, because Paul's from Wales. And at that meeting, we started talking about songwriting, and I said, I love songwriting. And he said, we should write together sometime. And we ended up setting a date, and as the days kind of crept towards it, I started getting this kind of like intuitive feeling like something's happening. And apparently he was having the same feeling. And we got together and started sharing, and we just felt like magic was happening. And we looked at each other and we were like, we got a band? I think we got a band. And so that was, I guess, like at the end of the summer last year or so. And then as we kept working together, we're like, this band needs a name. And we looked at some different things. We looked at things about ourselves. We talked about a lot of stuff, and we chose the name Would Be Royals.
Fitting is that?
You know, Andy's kind of a ginger. Like, it's bizarre the way that the universe works. So that was before I had any awareness of what was happening with this couple. And we've just launched on all the socials. We're at Would Be Royals on Twitter and Instagram. We're on Facebook. We got a website, and just put out our first little video, like an informal video of one of the songs that we're working on.
That's exciting.
I'm very excited. I'm feeling really grateful.
So will there be like a guest performance at the royal wedding, or?
If they renew their vows, perhaps. I don't think for this one.
Okay. Next event. So obviously music and acting are two things that you love and that you're passionate about. And just to bring it back full circle with the film, you know, what is your hope or desire for the world to see from this film, and also the upcoming marriage, about what love looks like?
I hope that people will be able to see past titles and nationalities and races and all of the other things that truly, in a like capital true sense, don't really matter, and see people coming together. That's what I really hope that people will take from the movie. It's just a really sweet homage to a love, a friendship, and a friendship that's tested by challenges like all of us. So I hope people will see themselves in it, and take a little hope with them as they go.
That's amazing. What do your parents think about the film?
They're so excited. I mean, my parents, God bless them. They are excited about everything I do. Everything I do. My biological dad had passed away about 14 years ago. Then my stepdad is also my dad. I guess I feel like I have two dads. And I've just had so much support from them and so much love, and they're the absolute best. I love you guys. I don't know if you're watching, so I love you so much. So grateful.
That's amazing. So I'm gonna kick it to the audience right now for some Q&A.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering, I'm just curious, like, did you have any difficulties trying to portray an actual person, but at the same time trying to balance being able to play a character on screen?
Such a good question. It's it brings with it its own particular challenges. I've played real people in the past. I played Sally Hemings on stage. I played actually Queen Charlotte, who was a several greats grandmother of Harry, on stage. And so, you know, you have this. There's a practice as an actor of like taking what you can and then trusting yourself to fill in the rest with your intuition, with the skills you've acquired. It's different when the person is alive and creating new content and can be directly compared to you. But that muscle of like learning to create and let go, I feel like one thing I've learned about myself through this process is that I had strengthened that muscle in a way that has left me feeling like happy and healthy and whole through it. Yeah, it's been an interesting journey. Thanks.
What kind of preparation and research it took you and other actors to really play well, to portray their personalities and everything?
Sure. Thank you. We did a lot of research with, you know, there's a lot of video, obviously, of these two people. So watching a lot of, you know, interviews or places where they're being observed by others, I got to watch, you know, a good bit of Megan's work to see kind of how she moves as an actress, like what she does there. Read her writing. You know, she's an excellent writer and really open about her feelings about things. So I felt like I had a lot of material to work with. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I'm excited to see the film. Can you remind everyone when they can watch this on Lifetime?
Yes. So you can watch this on May 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then that's in the U.S. In the UK, it's the 14th, I think, on Channel 5, and then Latin America, I believe, is the 15th or the 16th. Forgive me, I can't remember exactly.
Got it around the world.
It's around the world.
Thank you so much, Parisa.
Thank
So
you.
great to
Thanks,
have you.
everybody. Thank you so much.